All right, y'all, let's get into the 10% visible light that we live in, the 90% dark matter around us, and the heaven and hell as far as a light perspective. Okay, so when we're born, the sperm and egg, they create this light, and this light is what creates the heart, the brain, and the body. So this light is connected to the light in the sky, the sun, and it follows each and every one of us around to our own perspective. So it is made for us. We are part of that sun, and that sun is part of us. We are the begotten Son. We are the lampstand. Okay? So we are the sons of God. We are that light of God, and we are the bodies and members of the Christ, which is the living God. We are the living God. This is what Jesus is coming to teach the carnal man, the Jew. And there's a spiritual Jew today, and there's a carnal Jew today. And these are the ones who hold the testimony of Jesus Christ, supposedly, that Jesus is coming against, because he tells you in Matthew 24 that the sign of the end times is the people coming and teaching that Jesus is the Christ. Okay? Jesus taught we are all Christ. And the Antichrist to the Christ of the church is because they go back to the church of Amen, where they're going back to the beginning, where the Paul is teaching Jesus is that second Adam, and they're seeking salvation, and that's where they get their testimony. Okay? Jesus said we don't need to ask anything in those days, because in those days you're going to know. So we live in a projection. And this projection comes from the source, the light up there. And this visible light, okay, is the lowest form of light. The matter that we see, that we live in, this body, is condensed particles of light. Okay? So, as we are condensed particles of light, and we are in bounds by the flesh, this is hell. This is that carnal hell. This is that spiritual hell. This is where Satan rules. Okay? So, the light inside of us, when we die, that's when it's given birth. All right? But depending what that light has learned and what it needs to learn will depend on where it goes as far as a light source. And in our visible light that we have shadows and we have light. Okay? So I could see where the things were kind of shown here, there, or whatever. We combine these together to where that light inside of us, we can be, if we need to continue to learn, then we can be kind of cast back down to the earth and back down to the shadows, where we have to go into those darknesses that was before, and we have to learn how to navigate those things. And then once that light navigates that, then we're born again. If there's anything else we need to learn, or whatever we need to learn, or whatever for the next phase on earth or whatever, then next generation, that's where it goes. Okay? And we're born again either in the light or in the shadows, and that would be like your heaven or hell. But the heaven and hell, heaven is at hand. The kingdom is within us. The Father is in I. So that sun, that this projection we live in, that is made for me, that is made for you, that is made for all people. We are all the sons of God. This projection is made for all of us. The mothership is projecting. The Mother Earth is projecting. The God is projecting. The God is light. The Lord God is the sun. The Lord is Satan. So we live in this controlled but not controlled environment. We live in a projection that is controlled but not controlled. And this projection up here, this sun up here, controls the ones of Earth, and then the ones of Earth control the beast of Earth. All right? And it tells you that man came from monkeys. It tells you that there's sheep. The men are as sheep among the wolves. So this is the beast men. The beast men are not going to be able to move into the next heaven and earth, into the next age, because their light is among men. And it's the blind leading the blind out there, because Satan rules the world. And he's taking out the old frequency. He's taking out the old chakra. And that serpent, for the serpent year and all those things, is going to be rising up within men, or rising down, because they can't get past the solar plexus. They can't get past the light. They can't get past that barrier, because when you get there, you start getting to inhale and exhale, and that inhale and exhale is where most people are going to burn up, and the sacs and the lungs are going to give out. So the light, the 10% visible light, all right, it gives cast over the 90% dark matter. Okay, so this is when you find out that this light is only a fraction of light, and it only exists because there's darkness. Okay, and there was darkness upon the deep first, and then God's Spirit moved on the face of the waters. So, and that's just in the first creation. But that is what's setting up the 4 other tidbits of creation, where we're seeing positive and negatives being created. We're seeing this begotten Son being created, the source of light out here, and it's mirroring the ones that have the light within them that is made after him. So while this projection has this type of freedom because the light is made within them, there's a spiritual sense. The 5 senses are our feelers for this world, and it lets us know truth in this world, and the world is given over to the lie. This is where the people now, very easy to know if you're a beast man. Okay? And this is where, do you believe that cartoon projection, that you're a cartoon space monkey flying through space and going around the sun? Okay? And that's a very easy way, because you don't even trust the 5 senses around you. You don't even trust the physics, the basic physics of Earth that tell you that you do not live on a ball. Okay? So, it's one of those things where you might as well just be fucking talking to a monkey, or you might as well be talking to a sheep or a wall or whatever. And that's what these people, they do. They go up and talk to a fucking wall. Oh dear, whoever I'm praying to up there. La 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 da, ding dong. It's all a cult. You're all following a dude, and you're all looking back at some dude that tells you how to live your life. Like I am so righteous and holy. I am so holy. I can't do shit in life. I can't enjoy myself. I'm so depressed. I need my pills. Blah, 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 blah. it's really fucking nuts, guys. Like, we're in the lowest form of light, the condensed light. And as it's the lowest form of light, it keeps you in the lowest form of light. And this is where the people, they're drinking this or eating fast food or eating this chemical or that chemical or whatever is going on. They're not reading packages or whatever. There's two worlds in front of you. And one's a box, ox, cow. Move it. Anyways, the beast man is being created right before you. And the beast man are the ones of the earth, the ones of the candlestick, the ones that are going to be consumed. And the church is the beast man, the sheep that literally tells you these things. Like, it's, Jesus says it's so simple, and Jesus is within all of us. So you have to seek within inside yourself and be like, well, I'm going to, with this guy, this light, this guy's whatever might be shining some truth on there, because we see that outward Jew that's who Jesus came against. He came against the Old Testament. That's the same book they were using. Same church came from then to now. So it's just like, it's baby steps. And then once you have 100 baby steps, and you can look back and, hey, I can fucking walk. You can walk away, just like Jesus told you to do, from the candlesticks. And then you might get to that point in Revelation 4 where that trumpet is talking to that reader, me, who has that book, telling you about that fall that's coming. And the dragon is this year given the power for the serpent next year. And Trump has read the serpent poem 3 times so far to tell you who he is, and the birth, the woman with the birth of the nation, and all that is upon you. So this projection, this world, this earth, you have a choice to believe a world stage, the NASA, the cartoon projection that puts God out here, puts God out there. Or you can believe the truth, your 5 senses, and know that God is right there. And you are part of it. He is part of you. And you are the Son of God. If you are the Son of God, you are God. You are a living God. You project a light, but that living God, that begotten Son out there, has taken your fucking key. And that's why you need to ask him, I need your salvation. Jesus said you're already saved. You don't need salvation. The Jew seeks salvation. The Jew is the dead. The Jew is the synagogue of Satan. The Jew is the one who has the two-edged sword where Satan's seed is. That's who the Jesus is coming against. So this visible light, this condensed light, is the lowest form of that light from here to there, to that sun. That sun that is in us, that sun that gives us that spark when the sperm and egg meet, that gives, boom, I need a heart, I need a brain, I need a body to live in. For this light to learn. And this light is born again and again and again, and it learns over and over and over and more and more and more. So it's if we need more to learn, we got to be cast into the shadows, into the animal, however it works, and then we ascend up and we build up and go from one light spectrum to another light spectrum to another light spectrum and those types of things. Okay, so very simple.